Hello. It's Chinese New Year time, and I wanted to have a related kind of art project. So I decided to have us do a picture that looks like the paper cuttings that you just saw on the short video. I'm pretty amazed at their ability to cut in such small detail. So this year is the year of the ox. So we're going to do a picture of the ox, and we are going to make it red and white. Red is a very important color in the Chinese culture. It means luck and good fortune, and so it's a very popular color all year long, but particularly at during the Chinese New Year. Little children get money given to them in red envelopes and from their relatives and friends and that kind of thing. So we've got our paper. You need a marker, a black marker, pencil, and eraser. Excuse me. We'll talk about the different coloring devices you can use later on in the video. The first step to making our paper cut ox is that we're going to fold it in a hot dog fold. So bring your corners together and then crease it and then open it up. And our paper is going to be portrait. So tall and narrow. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to draw, and some of you have it pre-drawn for you and others are starting from a blank piece of paper. The key to this is that if you're starting from scratch, the key to this is making the ox head fill up the paper so we have room to make our quote-unquote paper cut drawings. Okay, so we're going to start up here at the fold, and we're going to come down around. Okay, and we're going to stop there where the top of the nose is going to be, and then we're going to come around. Try to make it the same on either side, and then stop at the same place. Then at the bottom, we're going to do like a rectangle with rounded corners. So come around like this, and that's going to be where we place the nostrils. And then down here, we're going to do a little line here for the bottom of the mouth. So while we're still working down here, we're going to put the front of the ox's body. We don't want to make him skinny because oxen are very large animals. There you go. All right. So I'll slow down to let you catch up. Now again, as always, you should be drawing this with a pencil and then tracing over it with your marker. I'm just drawing it with the marker so that you can see it adequately. Okay, so now we're going to come back up here on the top of the head where the fold is, and we're going to draw oxen have interesting little horns. And we're going to do the inside so it comes up, and you want them to try to match. Mine aren't perfect, that's by any means, but you want them to match as much as you can. And then when you're happy with that top, then we're going to come from the point, and we're going to come down around back to the head. And we're going to do that on either side. Again, try to get them to match as much as you can. I'm going to skip this here a little bit because my ear is going to go over. So again, we're going back to our guideline to help us. And then the ears are going to sit right under the horns. And they're going to kind of go straight out to a point. Again, see how I'm filling up the entire paper? That's what I want you to work on. All right, we're almost done with the basics. Let's do the eyes. So we want to come down here. We want to leave forehead up here because we can do some design work up there. But what we're going to do is do the top of the eye on either side. This makes it easier to get them to be the same size. Then when you're happy with that and you want to imagine a straight line, and then we're going to do the bottom lines. And again, if they're not exactly perfect, it's okay. Then we're going to work on the eyeballs. And remember that we're just making them like parentheses, not like balls, a circle, because our eyelids cover up. And then we're going to go ahead and do, when you're using your Sharpie, you can color in that pupil. And then we're going to give him some eyelids on top. Now we're going to come down here and give him some nostrils. And notice that these are at a slight diagonal. And we're going to do a little bit of work above here so it kind of looks like these are sticking out a little bit. Okay, so you've got your oxen almost drawn. We do need to do the inside of the ears. There you go. And that is our creature. Okay, everybody see that? All right. So the next thing that we're going to do is to do some folk art designs, some patterns on our oxen. And we're going to pretend that this was where, if we were using scissors, we would have cut the scissors. Okay, so one of the things that the Chinese like to do is associate oxen with flowers. So you can do a flower, or you can do whatever design you want, but you can do a flower, right in the middle of the forehead. Stick another petal in there. Made that one a little bit too thick. There we go. You can do some off to the side here and do a different sort of petal. Don't need to do the same thing. You don't have to do flowers at all, but so we're going to go over here. Try to line them up if you can. And then you could do, make these get a little bit bigger. So these could be like the little cutouts down the nose. And you could do another shape here, kind of like a leaf. So you can just use your imagination on what you would like. Looks like we need something here, right? So we could do another simple cut. Kind of like eyebrows. Maybe we could do another little shape like here. You can just look at where the blank space is. This is called negative space. And you can figure out what you want to add there. I think I'm going to use a little slightly bigger one just to fill that space up a little bit. And then we also have the body where you can do another flower or some sort of image there. So let's see, what do we want? Maybe we can do another big flower here. I'll try to do a better job with my petals this time. And when you get all of this drawn with pencil, you can, I believe I need a fresh Sharpie. That one was getting a little dry. I'll go over. Okay. And I could put a thing there. You don't have to make this too complicated. You can keep it pretty simple. I can have that one going off the paper. So just play around with your design. Start using your intuition, that inner sense of knowing about where things should be placed. Okay, now if you want to, we can do some decoration on the horns and just make curved lines there. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and pause the tape and let you go over all of your pencil lines with Sharpie. Okay, we're back, and I hope you're kind of in love with your creation here. Now, in terms of the color, you can use a Sharpie. I believe you have a smaller marker too. This one might be a little too big for all of these little details. And I seem to have misplaced my red smaller Sharpie, but we can also use crayon. We can also use the oil pastel if you want to do that. If you want to paint it, you can do that as well. If you have colored pencils, you could also use that. So there's a whole variety of things that you can use. Okay, so I'm going to use just a basic red crayon today, since I don't have the right size Sharpie with me. And we are going to basically do this just red and white. Remember, I talked about the importance of the color red in Chinese culture. So we're going to make, since it's the year of the ox, we're going to make the ox red and white. And then we can color the background something that contrasts, maybe like a yellow or a light blue. Okay. So we're going to start up here at the top, and take your time with your coloring. There's a lot to color, so it might get a little tedious, and if that's true, take a little bit of a break. So we're going to make these stripes. Again, if you use different designs, go for it. Just think about what you want to be red and what you want to be white. And they should be the same on this side as on this side. Okay, and then I'm going to do the ears. I'm not going to do the inside of the ears. I'm going to leave those white. And you can move your paper around to make it easier to get into all the nooks and crannies that you need. If you're using crayons, rotate your crayon around a little bit so that you're not losing the point on it quite as quickly. Okay, so then I'm going to start on the head. Okay, and I'm going to pause the tape, and you can go ahead and continue Well, before I do that, let me kind of walk you through the eyes, okay? So we're going to, this is going to make him look like a mad oxen, but we're going to do the eyes red with a black pupil. And again, you can use, I hope that you used your black Sharpie to make those nice and black. Okay. We can do the inside of these flowers. Okay, so the inside of all these little pieces will stay white. Okay, and the inside of the flower can stay red. The petals would be white. Okay, and then before I leave you to finish your coloring, let's go down here to the nose, and these are going to be red. And this is going to be red. In the back of the nose, all of this we're going to stay white. And the bottom of the mouth would be red. Just wanted to guide you through some of this so you don't get confused about what's what. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish the head, and I'll let you work on the head as well, and then I'll rejoin you to do the body. Okay, we're back. Hope you're enjoying making your oxen. I've got the head of mine all finished, and now I'm ready to get started on the body. And I'm going to just kind of go around the areas that I want to leave white. Just as a little reminder, don't color there. Go around the edges. All the way around the outside of our designs. Okay, now we're almost ready to let the red just rip and do the rest of it, of the body, right? There we go. I'm going to do this center circle. And now I'm in the free open space. When I said let it rip, I didn't mean that you would just like go nuts with the crayon, but still carefully, but it's certainly a lot easier to color in the wide open spaces, right? If you've decided to paint yours, this is a really good exercise in brush control. So that, I hope that's going well for you and you're enjoying it. This needs to be a little darker. I've got too light over here. So I want you to go back and just kind of go over if there's some lighter areas, because we do want this to be a nice rich red. There we go. Okay, now let's talk background. The complementary color, the color that's across the wheel from red, the color wheel on red is green, right? So for a really good contrast, we could use green, or something that's in the green family. You could also use yellow if you want. You could do a light blue. But I think I'm going to go for the kind of lime green. I wish I had one that was a little darker in my crayon set, but I don't, so we'll make this work. Okay? So you want to get all of the little bits and pieces of crayon, and then as always you're going to go with the lines. Sorry that my dogs are barking in the background. I think that they have cabin fever. So we can start with this. Again, we're in those wide open spaces. So you can put the crayon more on its side, and you'll lay down more color with each stroke. Again, keep rotating your crayon or your oil pastel. Even if you're using colored pencils. And then go up here. And there's a little bit of, I'm going to put that while I'm thinking of it. section. And then we'll be finished. Again, get all of your okay, so I should have gotten rid of that, erased some of my pencil lines here, so I hope you didn't make the same mistake I did. But here's our finished project, and I hope you enjoyed it. Happy Chinese New Year to you.